So you may be wondering, what is Major Aegis, Major Berserk, Minor Brutality, Minor Courage? You see these terms all the time in the skills that you use in this game, and if you're a beginner, you probably don't know what they mean. Well, I'm Adam with Probably Got This, and today I want to show you guys what these buffs and debuffs mean and what they actually do. So before we get into the video, guys, just want to remind you again, you guys can follow me on twitch.tv/BrowieGotThis if you ever want to watch me play live. I stream on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, anywhere starting time between 7 and 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Link will be in the description. And then if you also want to join my guild in-game, make sure to PM me your username. And if you want to join the Discord, the Brafia, I will have that link, all of these links in the description below. So make sure to check those out. We have a great community building in the Discord now. And so I'm really excited about that. So I hope you guys will join that. But let's go ahead and get into the video. So again, ESO, it's got a very big rap of not really explaining things to beginners, which is fine. You know, I would say it's definitely more understandable than some games for sure. And I love the game, but it is something that has a learning curve to it. And the buffs and the debuffs in this game definitely have a learning curve, because if you don't take the time to read these buffs or debuffs, you have no idea what they do and you have no idea what they are. People might throw out terms, like I said, like Berserk, Endurance, Empower, Courage, Brutality, Aegis, you know, you name it, Maim, Mending, like just all these terms, and you just might not know what it is. So we're going to dive into what each of these terms are, and we're going to go alphabetical order, and I'm going to give you guys an explanation of what they do. But first, I want to start off and say that there are two types of buffs that each buff has. So again, I said minor and major. Minor is obviously like, you know, minor, and major is major. So if you think of it in terms of, if you have a minor said buff name, so like minor Aegis, it's gonna do the same ability, but it's gonna be a less percentage. And then if you have major in front of an ability, that ability is just stronger than the minor version. So that's pretty self-explanatory, but I just want to explain that to you guys in case you don't understand that. Something also to know, everyone, is that when it comes to effects stacking or buffs or debuffs stacking, there's something that a lot of new players don't understand. So for instance, if someone has a skill that's like, you know, major savagery or something, and it's obviously not savagery, but just a skill that your teammate can buff you with, right? Like maybe it's a healer and they're buffing you with some sort of skill they have, and it's like major X or whatever, right? If you already have that buff on you from maybe a set that you're wearing or a skill that you're using, you cannot get two majors of the same skill or two minors of the same skill. You also can't stack that within your own build. So if you want like minor brutality and you have, somehow you're able to put 4 stacks of that on your build, you can't do that. It will not stack. Okay, so you can only have one of those. But do keep in mind, though, that you can stack the minor and major forms of skills. So if you have minor brutality and major brutality in your build, those will stack. So you can get both of those. So that's something to keep in mind, and it's something that you can actually enhance your build even better. But okay, we're going to go into these buffs first. We're going to do the buffs, and it's going to be in alphabetical order. So the first buff is Aegis, and again, you have a minor and major form of this. Minor Aegis, it takes 5% less damage from dungeon and trial monsters, and then major is you take 15% less damage from dungeon and trial monsters. The next buff you have is Berserk. This is a buff that a lot of people look for, I feel like. You have minor and major. Again, minor is increase all damage done by 8%. Major is increase all damage done by 25%. Next one is Brutality. Minor Brutality increases weapon damage by 5%. Major Brutality increases weapon damage by 20%. So there's a difference between weapon damage and all damage. So Berserk, again, covers all damage. This Brutality only covers weapon damage. You've got minor and major Courage. Minor, increase your weapon and spell damage by 129. Major, increase your weapon and spell damage by 258. So that's a significant jump. You've got Empower, which does not have a major or minor thing tacked onto it. This is increases damage of next light attack by 40%. You've got minor and major endurance. These minor version increases stamina recovery by 10%. Major version increases stamina recovery by 20%. You've got minor and major evasion. This minor version reduces damage from area attacks by 10%. Major reduces damage from area attacks by 25%. So these, again, are like AoEs that the enemy puts down. So you're going to get a minus 10% reduction to damage to you done in those areas. You got minor and major expedition. This one everyone loves. This is increased movement speed by 10% for the minor version and increased movement speed by 30% for the major version. You've got minor and major force. Minor is increases critical damage done by 10%. Major is increases critical damage done by 15%. You've got minor and major fortitude. Minor is increases health recovery by 10%. Major increases health recovery by 20%. Major gallop increases mount speed by 30%. There is no minor version of this. Minor and major heroism. Minor generates 1 ultimate every 1.5 seconds. Major generates 3 ultimate every 1.5 seconds. You've got minor and major intellect. Minor increases magic recovery by 10%. Major increases magic recovery by 20%. Got minor and major mending. I mentioned this before. Minor increases healing done by 8%. Major increases healing done by 25%. You've got minor and major prophecy. Minor increases spell critical by 1320. Major increases spell critical by 2191. You've got minor and major protection. Minor reduces damage taken by 8%. Major reduces damage taken by 30%. You got minor and major resolve. Minor increases physical resistance by 1320. Major increases physical resistance by 5 to 80. You've got minor and major savagery. Minor increases weapon critical by 1320. Major increases weapon critical by 2191, which is pretty freaking awesome. You got minor and major slayer. This is another good one. Minor increases damage done to dungeon and trial monsters by 5%. Major increases damage done to dungeon and trial monsters by 15%. You got minor and major sorcery. Minor increases spell damage by 5%. Major increases spell damage by 20%. You've got minor toughness, increases maximum health by 10%, so no major toughness. You got minor and major vitality. Minor increases healing received by 8%. Major increases healing received by 30%. You've got minor and major ward. Minor increases spell resistance by 1320. Major increases spell resistance by 5,280. Now we're going to get into some of the debuffs, again, in alphabetical order. So these are things that make you have weaknesses, or that bosses may put on you, or skills may put on you if they have like a debuff attached to them. So first we got minor and major breach. Minor decreases target spell resistance by 1320. Major decreases target spell resistance by 5,280. And also these debuffs can be put on enemies as well to help your team do more damage and stuff as well. So for cowardice, you just have a minor version. It increases the cost of ultimate abilities by 60%. You've got defile, minor and major. Minor reduces target's healing taken by 15%, and major reduces target's healing taken by 30%. You've got a minor innervation. The minor reduces critical damage by 12%. You've got minor and major fracture. Minor decreases target's physical resistance by 1320. Major decreases target's physical resistance by 5,280. You've got minor lifesteal. Attacking the enemy restores 500 health per second. You've got minor magic steal. Attacking the enemy restores 300 magicka per second. You've got minor and major maim. Minor reduces the damage dealt by 15%. Major reduces the damage dealt by 30%. You've got minor mangle, which reduces target's max health by 10%. You've got minor uncertainty, which reduces all critical ratings by 657. You've got minor and major vulnerability, which minor increases damage taken by 8% and major increases damage taken by 30%. So these are the buffs and debuffs currently. They're probably going to add more in the Hero Storm and in the Greymore chapter, but these are the ones that we have. And if you guys have any questions about that, you guys can just let me know in the comments. send me a chat in the Discord as well if you guys have a question. But basically, there's probably 5 to 10 buffs and debuffs that you need to always look out for that are ones that are in a lot of builds. And, some of those are like Berserk, Brutality. Another one is Intellect. Another one's Mending. Another one's Prophecy. Slayer, Sorcery. Those are all buffs that are really good to have in your builds usually. So you're going to probably see those a lot if you're trying to make a build somewhere. But, again, I know it's kind of confusing that some of these, you don't know what they do. They just say it. And I mean, I know they say what they do in the game, but there's no real, like, I guess, easy way to remember these. So, try your best to associate the pictures with them. And try your best to just kind of memorize it as best you can, because again, there really isn't any easy way to remember them. So I hope this helped you guys out. Just remember, guys, if you have any questions, just leave a comment below. Let me know, what your question is, or, in the Discord. Again, the Discord will be in the description. And then also, again, make sure to follow my Twitter account at Bro We Got This. And then if you want to watch me play on Twitch, I am live Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you guys can find that in the description as well. But hope you guys have a great rest of the day, and until next time, guys, I'll see you guys later. Just remember to have faith, be great, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.